What's good with y'all? Probably Pokey here, and today I got a video that's kind of different from today. Usually I do entire tutorials focused on one sample, but today I'm gonna give you guys general tips on ways you can make your samples way better and go through different samples. And if you guys want me to go in depth on any of these samples in the video, then let me know. And by the way, before we move on, y'all gotta check out the retwist, bro. Hold up. Alright, let me stop. Alright, so the first thing that you can do to make your melodies way better is reversing. Now, reversing your melodies can be done in multiple different ways. The way that I like to do it the most is just taking a certain melody, like this right here. Like, this sounds super dry and boring, right? I put on some effects like murder melodies, soothe, delay, and a reverb, especially delay and reverb. If you're reversing stuff, delay and reverb makes it 10 times better. Like, go to the channel rack, press this button, press this recording, and render to WAV file. And then once I got it, I pitched it down and I reversed it. Also added a ton of effects over here too. I'm gonna glide through them though. EQ, reverb, super VHS, RC20, compressor, and an EQ. It's gonna sound like this right now. And in the context of the sample, it's gonna sound like this. That definitely adds to the spacey vibe of the sample. And reversing stuff in general can help with having a spacey kind of vibe. Hold up. There we go. I mean, that's not the only way you can use the reversing technique though. You can use it to reverse entire samples. I do it all the time. If I feel like a sample is not really that great, I just reverse it and it comes completely different. Here's this example. This sample did not sound that good to me at first when it sounded just like this. Just sounds weird in my opinion, but when I reversed it, it sounded completely different. If you're having trouble making a sample sound good, then try reversing the entire thing. Another thing that you can do for melody is using a crap ton of halftime, especially on things that have like fast parts in them, or if there are. For this melody, I have the bit Ya Arp from the Providence Bank, and it goes like this. Which sounds cool by itself or whatever, but then I added a halftime. And I liked the idea where it was going, but it still was too fast for me. So I put on another halftime, and it sounds like this. And then that's when it sounded good for me, so I exported that out. I pitched it up an octave, put on an EQ, sketch cassette, Valhalla, micro shift. It's gonna sound like this now. And then here's how it's gonna sound with the rest of the sample. I also did this trick with another melody in the sample, with this one. At first it sounded like this. But then I put a halftime on it, so it's gonna sound like this. And I wanted to do something with that first glitch sounding part. I would try to break down what I did from there, but not gonna lie, I think it'll be kind of confusing. I did a lot of stuff to this part of the melody, so that's why. And I made the sample a long time ago, so I don't really remember how I made this exactly. But this is like the first thing that I exported, so if I had to guess, I think I played with the time and then I pitched it down. That's really it. And then for this channel, I put on an EQ, an auto pitch, RC20, micro shift, EQ. I went crazy on the EQ, Valhalla, and another halftime just for like this part of the melody. Also, one last like kind of mini tip here. I used the rest of that pad part of the melody as like a separate melody on its own. You know, like at the beginning of this when it has like that glitch part, and then later on it has the like the normal part. I use that as like a background pad. Together it's gonna sound like this. So I kind of got two melodies in one pretty much. Another trick that you can do is putting a portal preset on a melody and then putting halftime on it. So right now I have this melody. But then when I put on halftime and murder melodies on it, it's gonna sound like this. And yeah, while I'm on this sample, there's also another tip you can use to make your melody sound better. Using little textures in your samples will make them always sound better. Like this pad right here, the Metaverse pad from the ATL Culture Trilogy one-shot kit, is literally just this. But it makes the intro to this sample sound way better. This is another sample where I use a texture or an accent. I use the improvement accent from the Felina kit from Snake. I put some effects on it, and yeah, this is another sample where when I was done with it, I reversed it at the end. And especially around here, you can see where that texture takes place, and it makes the sample sound 10 times better, and it helps with the futuristic sound of it. So for the last example for this tip, I have this percussion loop that I made for this sample. It's just gonna sound with it. I took some perks from XY's Avant-Garde one-shot kit. I took all of them, made a little pattern with it. Put it on this track, RC20, EQ, H910 harmonizer, the kickstart, Valhalla, and the Soothe 2 with the drum room harsh preset. So yeah, these are a few tips that might help you improve your beat making and all that. And if you like the video or you learned something, then like the video and subscribe. That will help me a lot. And yeah, I'm gonna see y'all next time.